I found this unusual brass device at my grandmother's house. It has a hollow bauble at the top, a stick marked with small lines like a ruler, and several numbered metal loops that fit onto the lower part of the stick. The object you've come across is a Sykes's hydrometer, a scientific instrument used historically to measure the specific gravity of liquids, most commonly the alcohol content in spirits. It was developed by Bartholomew Sykes in the early 19th century and became the official standard for alcohol measurement in the United Kingdom after an Act of Parliament in 1816. For decades, this type of hydrometer was essential for excise officers, as the specific gravity helped determine the duty payable on alcoholic beverages. The set typically includes a hollow brass float marked with a graduated scale and a series of precision brass weights. These weights are placed on the stem of the hydrometer to calibrate it according to the density of the liquid being tested. The kit is usually housed in a velvet or silk-lined wooden box, like the one you found, with each component stored securely in its own compartment. Some versions also included a mercury thermometer to account for temperature variations during measurement. What is this intricately carved sphere I found at a shrine sale near Tokyo, Japan? It's made of a light-colored stone with multiple ornate layers that each move independently and appear to be carved from a single piece. The object you found is known as a Chinese puzzle ball, also referred to as a concentric ball in the West. These intricate pieces were traditionally carved from a single piece of ivory and contain multiple nested layers, sometimes as many as 30, that each rotate independently. What makes them so remarkable is not only the delicate lace-like detail carved into every layer, but also the extraordinary level of craftsmanship required to release and shape each inner sphere without damaging the outer ones. Artisans use specialized L-shaped tools of varying lengths to reach inside and carefully carve from the inside out. These puzzle balls have existed for centuries, but most of the surviving examples were made during the Chinese Republican period, between 1912 and 1949. The outer layers are typically decorated with dragons, flowers, and geometric motifs, each design carefully positioned to allow light to pass through and reveal the next layer. Dragons were especially popular, symbolizing imperial authority and good fortune. What is this large metal ring? It has 2 rows of letters on the outside that can rotate, and on the inside there's an inscription that reads Carpe Diem along with numbers, 1 through 6 on the top, and 7 through 11 on the bottom. It also has the initials SW engraved inside. The item you found is a sundial ring, a portable timekeeping device with historical significance. Its design is reminiscent of the Eleanor of Aquitaine sundial, named after the 12th century queen who reportedly gifted such a timepiece to her husband, King Henry II of England, around the year 1152. The ring features 2 rotating bands on the outside, each marked with letters representing the months of the year. Inside, a series of numbers corresponds to the hours of the day. To use the sundial ring, you align the hole with the current month and hold it so that sunlight passes through. A thin beam of light will shine through the hole and land on one of the numbers inside the ring, indicating the current hour. We found these 2 magnetic telescoping tools with colored balls on the end among my uncle's things, but we're not sure what they are. Does anyone know what these are? The items you found are components of a magnetic hitch alignment kit, designed to assist drivers in aligning a vehicle's hitch ball with a trailer's coupler. This tool simplifies the hitching process, especially for individuals operating without assistance. The kit typically includes 2 telescoping rods with magnetic bases and brightly colored balls on top. One rod attaches magnetically to the tow vehicle's hitch and the other to the trailer's coupler. As the driver reverses the vehicle, they can observe the 2 rods through the rearview mirror. When the colored balls align, it indicates that the hitch ball and coupler are properly positioned for connection. This method reduces the need for multiple attempts and minimizes the risk of misalignment or damage. Such alignment kits are widely available from various manufacturers and are valued for their simplicity and effectiveness in streamlining the trailer hitching process. My friend found this ultra-complex frame diagram at a Goodwill store for $2. It looks like a dense web of lines and symbols with text in both black and orange, possibly some kind of code or technical data. Anyone know what this is? What you've found is a data visualization artwork by Ben Fry, mapping the assembly code of the classic Pac-Man game for the Atari 2600. This piece is part of Fry's DisMap project, where he explores how early video games were programmed by transforming raw assembly code into visual form. The diagram shows lines of assembly instructions from the game cartridge. Whenever the code includes a command that jumps from one instruction to another, such as a conditional branch, a curved line connects those points. That's why the image features so many overlapping arcs. The black columns represent sequences of instructions, while the orange segments show raw data. These data sections often contain visual elements like sprites or game tiles, and the orange blocks and dots indicate the binary values of each byte. In some cases, you can even spot bits of the game's graphics hidden within the patterns. Does anyone know what this tool is? I found it in our workshop, but no one seems to recognize it. It looks like a pair of metal pliers with a conical, textured tip and long handles. When you press the handles together, the tip only spreads open a little. The tool you've found is a Stanley No. 19 lead pipe expanding pliers, patented on May 5, 1896, by John Anderson of Portland, Connecticut. These specialized pliers were designed to expand the ends of lead pipes, making it easier to connect them by creating a flared opening. The tool uses a compound lever mechanism that allows the semi-conical dies to open evenly when the handles are squeezed together, ensuring a uniform expansion of the pipe end. The patent was later acquired by the Stanley Rule and Level Company, which manufactured the tool, although it was never officially listed in their catalogs. Production likely ended by 1911, making this a rare and unusual find today. I found this strange object while cleaning out my grandfather's house. It has a wooden knob, a cast metal body, and the flat end has a hole, along with two small pins sticking out about 1/8 of an inch. The yellow paper in the background is 6 by 9 inches for scale. Does anyone know what this is? The tool you've found is an antique pool table rail bolt wrench, specifically crafted for assembling and disassembling the rails of vintage billiard tables. In many antique pool tables, particularly those from the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the rails were secured using round-head bolts with two small holes. This wrench features two adjustable pins designed to fit into these holes, allowing for the proper tightening or loosening of the bolts. What is this solid brass object with a hinged lid and a central stem inside? I got it as a gift from a yard sale, but we can't figure out what it is. It's heavier than it looks and seems too heavy to be a pendant. The item you were given is an antique brass sewing etui, commonly referred to as a thimble holder. These compact cases were designed to store sewing essentials such as thimbles, needles, and thread. Often crafted in the shape of an egg, they were especially popular during the 18th and 19th centuries. Etui like this one were frequently attached to a chatelaine, a decorative belt hook or clasp worn at the waist, from which various useful household tools would dangle. Chatelaines allowed women to carry items like scissors, keys, and sewing implements in a convenient and accessible way throughout the day. I found this small, solid metal object at my grandparents' place. It looks like a pipe, but it's completely solid and non-functional. There are detailed figures on the stem, what seems to be a serpent, a mule, and an oil lamp. It's surprisingly heavy for its size. The object you've discovered is a Hindu ritual spoon known as an udharani, traditionally used during sacred ceremonies to offer substances like water or ghee into the ritual fire. This particular piece is richly decorated with symbolic elements associated with Lord Shiva, one of the principal deities in Hinduism. The serpent figure represents the cobra Vasuki, which is often shown around Shiva's neck, and symbolizes his control over danger and his protective nature. The animal that resembles a mule is most likely Nandi, the sacred bull and Shiva's loyal companion and mount, representing strength, faithfulness, and devotion. This small metal object was given to me by my dad when I was a kid. It has the words Enterosis Network on the back, and there's a small button on the front. I've tried twisting, pressing, and pulling it in every way I can think of, but it still won't open. This item is a Lucky Line key release keychain, specifically the model 42701. This compact device is designed to help organize and manage multiple sets of keys. It features a central die-cast body with 5 removable tempered steel key rings. To detach a key ring, you slide it to a notched opening and press the button, allowing for quick and easy access to individual keys without removing the entire keychain. I found this spoon-shaped metal object with a strainer on one end and a mouthpiece on the other. It's hollow, so you can blow or suck air through it. Near the top, there's a decorative element that looks like a flower with a red glass or stone set in the center. What you found is a bombilla, a specialized metal straw traditionally used for drinking mate, a herbal tea that has been deeply rooted in South American culture for centuries. Mate itself has been consumed since pre-Columbian times, but the use of the bombilla as a drinking tool is believed to have originated with the indigenous Guarani people. They developed early forms of filtering straws made from cane to avoid swallowing the leaves while drinking the infusion. By the 17th century, with the spread of mate drinking among Spanish colonists and Jesuit missionaries, the bombilla evolved into a more refined metal version. Artisans began producing bombillas from silver, from an alloy of copper and nickel known as German silver or alpaca, and later from stainless steel. The term bombilla comes from Spanish and literally means little pump. Over time, bombilla became more than just practical tools. They turned into cultural symbols. In wealthier households, elaborately decorated bombillas with ornamental stones or engravings were a sign of status and refinement. My mom found this small, rubbery black object hidden on a shelf in our house. It has a textured surface with a grid pattern and a symbol in the center that looks like a signal or sound icon. Does anyone know what this thing is? This is a microsonic grenade, a loud and downright silly device that was once sold by ThinkGeek. It was created purely for pranks, with the sole purpose of annoying friends, coworkers, or unsuspecting family members. The gadget could be tossed or hidden, and after a short timer of 5, 30, or 60 seconds, it would detonate with an ear-piercing siren reaching up to 115 decibels, about as loud as a power tool. Despite its tough appearance, it served no real purpose beyond being obnoxious. Once activated, it could only be silenced by reinserting the pin. While it was marketed as harmless fun, most people who came across it would probably agree it was more irritating than entertaining. In the last video, I asked you to guess what this strange ceramic jar with just one opening might be used for. Everyone had great guesses, and many of you got it right. This item is a stoneware bed warmer. People used to fill it with hot water and place it under their sheets to warm up the bed before sleeping. Thank you to everyone who participated and shared your guesses. A special shout out to Just Here for being the first to correctly identify it. All right, it's time for another mystery item. Take a look at this unusual tool found in a thrift store. What do you think it is used for? Leave your guesses in the comments and I'll reveal the answer in the next video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Your support motivates me to create more videos. See you next time.